Welcome to the Greenwood Hub Art Studio. Today's design team project for Zuri Designs is going to be a Halloween project. I will be decorating a tomb piece for this project today, and I'll be showing you all the products that I'm using. We're starting with the Ornate Cross Set 1 from All Things Medley Collection. And this cross has a lot of detail. Zuri Designs has created a fabulous molds with crosses, and I really love this Ornate Cross from set 1. I'll be using the larger one. Then we're moving on to the Lover of Darkness molds. It's from the Dark Side collection, that's Zuri Designs. And I'll be using the large moth that you see here. The moth has a really cool skull as a detail on it, so I think it looks very scary. Next, we're going to be using the Little Bit of Everything mold as well. And this is from All Things Medley collection as well. And I'm looking at some of the mold pieces that I'm planning to do a composition with. I'm not very sure yet which ones, but I know the cogs will be one of them. So here's my 3 molds that I'll be using today. Let's get started. Next, we have Paint Couture. I'm using a beautiful black resin from Paint Couture. This is on the larger side of the bottle. It's black, so it's going to be easier for me to paint, to not using black gesso, because the resin itself is already black. And here's step 2, which is the second bottle of the set. So let me show you how I'm mixing these 2 bottles, step 1 and step 2, on my very next clip. I'm going to use my resin cup, which is a silicone cup that I have, where I'll put the mixture 1-to-1 ratio with my measuring cup. It's always 1-to-1 ratio. I have 2 measuring cups just in case I can't see my numbers for my measuring of the resin, and I'm going to start with all of my molds placed on the table nice and flat. Here's my molds. Let's start with a mixing process. Step 1 from my Paint Couture black resin. I'm going to fill it up, fill all of this measuring cup up to the top. And now moving on to my step 2 of this black resin from Paint Couture. When I'm mixing this resin, I don't see a lot of bubbles, but I'm going to mix it quite nicely, about 50 seconds, about 50 seconds. I'm mixing this resin to make sure that it's nice and mixed, of course. Now, this is a rapid casting resin, and that's why I'm pouring the resin on my molds quite quickly, because just like any other rapid casting resin, you only have a few seconds to work with before it completely hardens. And I noticed that this Paint Couture black resin dries a lot fast. It's pretty good. It dries very fast. And the same 10 minutes drying process that you will need using this black resin. All the details in these molds are gorgeous. I hope to get a lot of beautiful detail. Here's my second round of my black resin. I prefer to buy the larger bottle, the 16-ounce bottle, because I use a lot of my mixed media projects. I use it in a lot of them. And that's why I'm going for the bigger size bottles. They have 3 different size bottles, but this one is the 16-ounce that I'm using today. So stay tuned. I'm pouring the resin again, this time on my little bit of everything mold. Enjoy the process. After my 10 minutes have passed for the drying time, here's my process of demolding the pieces from the molds. It comes out nice and firm, and there's a certain malleability to it, but I'm not going to need to bend any of the pieces for this project, so it's fine if it dries flat. All the pieces dry out flat. Not bad. The mold comes out very clean after you pour this black resin. My little bit of everything mold is very well loved, so that's why you see a little bit of white on there. I've used it many, 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 many times, and I've had this mold for about 3 years, so I keep using it, and it's great. Not bad. I'm not going to be using all the resin pieces that I created for my composition. I will use a few of them, but it's always nice to have spare pieces. Moving forward, here's my tomb piece that I'm going to be working on. Something that I bought at my Dollarama store here in Calgary. And I'll be using my silver ice from Paint Couture. It's a water-based acrylic paint. It's a luxe metallic. And it's going to bring out many of the highlights that I want on the tomb. It's actually a gorgeous, gorgeous silver ice. I love this paint. It dries very fast, and I'm just gonna put this silver ice paint on a few spots, not all of it, just on the darker spots, so I can highlight my my focal points. And I think on the letters I'm gonna be using black pearl from Paint Couture as well, because the letters, I want them really dark. So where it says rest in peace, RIP. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the black pearl, also water-based metallic paint. Now moving on to my composition, I decided to start with a cross behind those nice effects that this tombstone has. I think the cross is going to look beautiful where it's placed. And the moth up on top, just by the letters. Then I'm placing some cogwheels to layer my composition. So some cogwheels from the Little Bit of Everything mold underneath. And yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it's looking nice. Next, I'm going to place the wings from the Little Bit of Everything mold on top of the skull that's already on this tomb piece. Let's see. I decided not to use the heart and keyhole. So instead I'm going to put these flowers from the Little Bit of Everything mold as well. And on the very top, my little moth from Lover of Darkness. Just trying to see how I'm going to place it. There we go. That looks nice. That looks like a nice composition. Let's move on to the next step. Using my silver ice from Paint Couture, I am going to paint right on the molded pieces. The shimmer is amazing. It's a luxe metallic, so the shimmer really comes through how I envision how to paint these pieces. I'm going to be using this silver ice on all of my pieces. And I'm also going to use Zuri Designs Bora Bora, which is the blue metallic wax paste that they have. There we go. The wings right by the skull. They look great. I can't wait to add my Bora Bora to it. My metallic wax paste. The cross is coming out beautifully too with the silver ice from Paint Couture. Looks nice. All the detail comes out. That's nice to see. I'm impressed. It's a beautiful acrylic paint. I can use this silver ice in a lot of my projects actually. So yeah, I like that. There we go. Placing it there. And now I'm gonna dry it. Even though this acrylic paint dries quickly, I'm gonna get my hot air gun. I advise you all to get a hot air gun, you know, so it speeds up your drying process. But don't hold it too close because it can melt and it can ruin your work. Also, when you're drying it out, use a circular motion on top of these paints while you're drying these paints. And here's my Bora Bora from Zuri Designs. I'm just gonna add a few touches of this wax because it's just so beautiful. It goes nicely with silver ice and the silver background that I have here. So yeah, there you go. Just adding it on to a few places here. And let's see on the wings, a little bit of it on the wings as well. Yeah, that looks nice. I love these wings from Zuri Designs. This little bit of everything mold really has everything. Zuri Designs thought of everything inside of this mold. So we're getting close to the end of my project. I wanted to let you know that I'm gluing everything down using the heavy gel mat from Golden. I'm going to use that to glue all my composition down. I'm just placing the cogwheels again because I'm going to be using the silver ice as well to cover those cogwheel pieces. And let me just get the heavy gel mat so you can see up close what it looks like. There you go. I use a little spatula with it, and when I put this heavy gel mat, I always give it, like I put a nice thick amount on it, because once you glue it down and you dry it with your hot air glue gun, your hot air gun, it's gonna really stay stuck on there like forever. It's not moving anywhere once it's dried. Now I'm gonna place a little bit of the heavy gel mat on the wings so you can see the amount I've put. I'm going heavy on it because I really want to glue the piece down. There we go. That's better. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this project and some Halloween inspiration. So this is a fun Halloween inspiration project, not to take it too seriously, right? But I thought Zuri Designs Ornate Cross Set 1 and Lover of Darkness would go really good. Have a great day. Follow me for more inspiration, and see you soon.